just looking. Don't worry. She won't say, he won't say anything. Let's go. And this is where everything starts with iyadu billah. And this is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam warned us against this in many different hadith. And I want to quote them very quick, inshallah. Then we continue with the second point. Then I'll give you the tips that we need to know bi-idhni subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Man kana yu'min billahi wal yawm al-akhir, if you believe in Allah on the day of judgment, فَلَا يَخْلُوَنَّ بِإِمْرَأَةٍ لَيْسَ مَعَهَا ذُو مَحْرَمٍ مِّنْهَا. He said, whoever believes in Allah on the day of judgment should not be along with women without her mahram, without her guardian. قال فإن ثالثهما الشيطان. Indeed, the third of the three is a shaitan. In another narration, he says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and this is what a lot of people, especially the relatives, they think they're doing this, doing a favor for the brother. And he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, قال لا تلجوا على المغيبات. لا تلجوا على المغيبات. He said, do not enter, do not visit women whom their husbands are away from them. If the woman, her husband is away from her, in a trip, business trip, school, but she's married, he said, don't go and visit her. Don't go by yourself. قال فإن الشيطان يجري من أحدكم مجرى الدم. He says, shaitan runs in you, O sons of Adam, through the veins of your blood. Now, look at this. Why are women who are married? Because this woman, she lived her life in a certain pattern, a certain lifestyle. Now her husband is not there. Now, if the husband is not there, and she's not afraid of anything because, hey, mashallah, she's not a young lady who was never married before, who was more concerned about what a man would ask for the first night in her, wedding night. Now, shaitan can say, listen, nobody would know. Nobody would know. How many cases that I know of that the divorce took place because the wife thought nobody would know? I'm not saying the men don't do. They do. They do, and they're worse. But, wallahi, they are worse. They do and say, oh, I can never get pregnant. Ala barakatillah. They do, and this is what we need to know, that Allah is the one who is watching, and we should be concerned more about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And another hadith, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, concerning this, يقول إياكم والدخول على النساء. He said, be aware of going, visiting women. فقال رجل من أنصار يا رسول الله أفرأيت الحمو. يا رسول الله, what do you think about the relative? قال الحمو الموت. He said relative, himself is a death. Now all of this, ya ikhwati fillah, brothers, is precaution for you just to stay away from the actual sin, the actual ma'asiyah, and to protect yourself from this. Now the second point that I want to cover is actual free mixing, that we want to address this. Now free mixing also means that when men and women are freely intermingling, talking, chatting, there is no limit, and where there is no limitation. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encouraged the women. He said to them, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكِنْ. You see, وَبُيُوتِكِنْ. He said, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ. He said, stay in your house, وَلَا تَبَرُّجْنَ تَبَرُّجَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ الْأُولَى. He said, stay your homes and do not display your beauty like the people of the ignorance, people of the Jahiliyyah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِذَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُنَّ فَاسْأَلُهُنَّ مِنْ وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ. And He said, if you ask them anything, asking behind al-hijab, behind curtains. And this is not only for the wives. Now look at this, the second part of the ayah. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى ذلكم أطهر لقلوبكم وقلوبهن. He says this is more pure for their hearts and your heart. Subhanallah. Allah is not talking about indecent women. He's talking about the best of all women, the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. يقول ذلكم أطهر لقلوبكم. Number one, وقلوبهن, and their hearts. The hearts of the Sahaba, nobody can claim that they can be like them. That's why Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, he said, Allah looked into the hearts of all mankind, and He realized, and He came to the conclusion, the best hearts and the more pure heart at the hearts of the Sahaba, so he chose them to be the companion of his messenger. Now the wives of the Prophet ﷺ are the women that Allah has chosen them to be the wives of the best mankind ever, the best of all the sons of Adam, Muhammad ﷺ. Yet Allah is saying, ذَلِكُمْ أَطْهَرُ لِقُلُوبِكُمْ وَقُلُوبِهِنْ. Yani subhanallah, imagine Aisha radiallahu, Hafsa, Salama, none of them, Habiba, none of them would ever think such an evil thought. Like he said, but this is better for their hearts. And this is not only for the wives of the Prophet, but for all women until the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. From the Sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, يقول صلى الله عليه وسلم, المرأة عورة. What is awra? What is the meaning of awra? Awra, they usually translate, cover your awra. It means you expose something that should not be exposed. It means, if I unroll my sleeves, none of you will say, Brother Saeed, cover your awra. But if I take off my shirt and I show you my, what were you guys going to say? Brothers, astaghfirullah, cover your awra. I just took my shirt off. Now, awra is when the person exposes something that should not be exposed. This is awra. Now, Rasulullah said, women are awra. Not her face, not her feet, not her hair. From head to toe, she's awra. يقول فإذا خرجت استشرفها الشيطان. When she leaves her house, shaitan follows her. Shaitan follows her. قال وأقرب ما تكون من وجه ربها وهي في عقر بيتها. The closest that she can get is to her Lord is when she is in her house. That's the closest that she can get to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, awra, and every time that she leaves, shaitan would follow. Imagine, subhanallah, this is one of the things that we were dealing with last night. If two sisters, if they leave the masjid and they stand at the parking lot, what would happen to the brothers? They will all make hijrah outside the masjid. All of the young guys, they will go outside. The sisters, they're not doing anything haram. They, mashallah, wearing decent hijab head to toe. But because a young man, when he passes by her, shaitan displays ideas in his head. Because she's awra. And then you see somehow she's attracting all these young men to outside of the masjid. And then you have a traffic jam outside of the masjid. Nobody can come into the masjid and nobody can leave. And there are only two. Imagine when 9, 10 of them come out. Qiyamah. يعني خلاص.